everybody. Hello everybody, good evening. Sorry, a little bit quiet there probably because I'm so far away from the mic. Here we are then, stage 4 of this year's Tour de Zwift 2025. A lot of people signed up for this, a lot of people. And yeah, I hope my legs feel good. But we're going to try and get a good workout in. I haven't really got a time in mind. And actually, I was trying to look to see if I've ever raced or ridden hard up this section, because of course Reine doesn't take in the actual start of the Ventop segment, so we don't go all the way to the top, and we actually don't start, straight out to the pen. We go up the zigzag climb, and we finish at Chalet Renard. So it's not halfway up, it's like 3/4 of the way up, maybe something like that. But yeah, probably actually takes in the harder sections. So it's the first time I've raced and ridden up Ventop since the real life expedition at the Ventoux Gran Fondo earlier this year, or last year actually. So yeah, see if I can try and remember some of it from real life. And given that I rode pretty much the whole way myself last year in the real life event, I should have a pretty clear recollection of it, but we shall see. I saw Simon has signed up. Yes, indeed. Okay, 2 minutes to go, folks. 2 minutes to go. Thank you. Early support in the chat, thank you. I will give it my best, and we'll see what happens. No expectations. We haven't been feeling 100% the last week, I would say. I think still trying to recover from traveling. I don't know what it is, but there we go. It is what it is. Still here. Still kicking. So let's see what the outcome will be. Oh, I did not know that, Niall. I shall definitely have to check those out. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Joel. Camille. Thank you, thank you. Here we go then. Nice little bit of flat before we get into it properly. Looking forward to it. Got full climbing set up. I need all help I can get. Running up the front. Doing that 7 watts per kilo for 40 minutes. Here we go. Yeah, look at the profile. Looks very weird. So there's a split already. But we're all thinking about that climb, obviously, so no surprise there's a bit more of an easier separation here. To be honest, Niall, I don't know, because we might be spending the whole weekend moving cardboard boxes. I am man with a van. I can see I'll go here, but I don't know yet until we start this effort. Climb is coming soon. Not long, couple of minutes, we'll be there. Thank you. Just going to use this flat road to get in and out the saddle a bit, because I think I'll be seated for a lot of the climb. There's a couple of power geeks in here. How long do we think at like let's say 5.5 watts per kilo it's going to take to finish the climb or finish the whole event today? I'm just looking for a bit of a gauge time wise. No, we're not going all the way to the top, no way. Nice one. Was that 48 minutes total or just the climb? Okay, we're getting close to the bottom of it now. Here we go. Nice one, thank you, chat. Oh. Don't know whether to take my jersey off or not. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go then. We get another power up at the top of this little climb, don't we? Ah, Taviasco. Nice. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, I'm going to try and follow people because it's a long way. A lot of draft to be had here, isn't there? Top of zone 3 heart rate, if I had to guess, it's probably around 155. On zone 2, probably about 130. Well, it depends what zone, well, yeah, it depends which zone model you're talking about. That's all. Thank you. I appreciate everyone here. Big love to the community. I always forget about them. I think that should be the title for the video. If we get more than 487 people watching, we'll have to title it "More people watched me than..." More people sat recovering. There's an attack. I mean, I would say we're not really on the climb yet. Nice one, Cobra, thank you. That's useful. It's gonna split here. As a professional here, right, what should we do? Follow. I appreciate it, Ryan. It's all relative, isn't it? Thank you. Feeling okay at the minute. I believe you're right, Niall. Where though? That's my punishment. That power up. Oh, thank you, chat. Quick shout out. I uploaded a YouTube video about an hour and a half ago from my trip in Calpe, where I did some really steep climbs. Go check it out after this. I really appreciate it. Okay, that's the plug out the way. Hey, it's Bert. Hey, Bert. Sorry, I can't type. Oh. Hey, thanks for the support. It's really appreciated. And there's lots of new viewers here after my recent Zwift video, so thank you for coming along. And someone asked, is it normal to have 400 people in here? Well, it's not really. I mean, years ago, it was only maybe 10. But certainly the last year or two, there's been more and more folk, more community presence, which is awesome. And yeah, it's cool, really, really cool. And and yeah, we've managed to get over 600 before, nearly 700 I think. So it's usually when we do an Alp to Zwift race, but certainly an event like this where there's a lot of climbing. Yeah, it's people love to watch. So yeah, it's a crazy thing, but one I'm here for. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Oh. Should we go to the top? How far have we got to go? Far enough. The new Eurosport. Not quite, but I appreciate it. Oh. Oh. $8K from the stage banner. Understood. I suppose we'll go to the top. Why not? If anybody wants to chat now, we can chat now. And maybe get my breath back. I actually felt really good there. Felt really good. Hey, thank you, Chris. I took a bit of a risk by going deep and early, but I thought I'll see what happens. But looked like a good little fight behind as well, though. That's always good to see. Wow, I've never raced Cairnbros to Curtin. That's your first race, but that's epic. What a race. The junior version, of course, but yeah, wow. That's incredible. Yeah, I felt particularly good tonight. I did feel particularly good. Yes, as someone did say in the chat, they said do a Tadej Pogačar and attack. But I'm nowhere near Tadej's level, of course. Oh, that'd be awesome, but all the best to you, buddy. All the best. Be looking out for it. It's I would say, I was hoping to bump into Tadej Pogačar in Calpe, but I didn't. Sadly. Funny enough, I will be at the Étape du Tour this year. I will be. I'm very much excited for it. What's my max heart rate? That's a good question. It varies from day to day, of course, but generally anywhere in the 180s, my max heart rate. That's fairly normal to see, but I've not been feeling 100% the last week, and I certainly haven't seen 180 for a while. Well, actually, no, I tell a lie. I did see it on Tuesday night. I saw 176, but I wasn't quite feeling right. So there's various reasons for why your heart rate will, go up. There's also reasons why your heart rate won't go up. It's just one of those things sometimes. You can easily get bogged down and overthink it. Ooh. Do you have an invitation? So I'm going through a tour operator. So I haven't got an invitation, no. Some of you will be familiar with that tour operator that I use. Good old Alp Cycles. There's a little plug for them. This will be your second. Nice. When was your first? I don't think Poggy's ever won a Zwift group ride, to be fair. Yes, I did bump into Lotte Kopecky. That was epic. Yes, that's right. He is sponsored by Wahoo. That is right. I will, of course, try to win the Etape de Tour, but that is extremely hard because the guys who live out in the Alps, in the mountains, they'll be a little bit better adapted to, the high mountains, the temperatures, and of course the descending. So I'm just gonna have to see how I can do. No, I didn't fart, don't worry. Thank you, Bugod. We've just finished. You can rewind a little bit. Yes, I'll be filming. I'll make a video of it for sure. Of course. You'd expect nothing less. So I'll be trying to win and also record at the same time. I think if any of you have seen the Mont Ventoux video, like, that was a pretty rare feat of not only being able to film a video but also win the event. I think that's extremely rare. Oh, thank you, Miles. You want to see the graph? Let's have a look at the graph. Those of you who want to see it. Still riding here, so take it for what it's worth. Here we go. Oh! So yeah, I mean, you can see. And for some context, my FTP is around about 360 watts at the minute. So when I went on the attack, There was a good portion there where I was just a little bit over it for quite a sustained period, at least 5 minutes, more like 10 minutes, and then my heart rate wasn't really doing much. But to be honest, all the way up until that, I felt very comfortable and very good, very confident that I could do a strong finish. And then I just settled in here so that I could try and empty the tank at the end. So in the end, actually, a really good, some really good numbers when I wasn't really sure how I would feel. Oh, look at the clouds. I don't think I've seen the clouds yet before. That's really cool. I don't remember this cave here. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I mean, I descend adequately. To be honest, I think knowing the descents, or just getting used to how good the roads are, how good the descents are, how flowing they are. It's just getting used to it again. Because we do it every year, but yeah, we don't we don't have that here in the UK. Oh yeah, I agree, Lloyd. I agree. The top always seems so far away. Couple of corners left. Nearly there. Hey, let's give it a right on. Yeah, I know, Greg. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan. I mentioned on my Instagram story yesterday. I mean, I've personally cancelled my subscription. But, I had one or two messages from some young cyclists, and they were saying how, you know, cycling is obviously their passion, and you know, when I say young, I mean late teens and early 20s, and they were saying how cycling is their passion, and they're a little bit devastated, you know, that they can't follow the sport like they used to, because they're going to struggle to dedicate that jump in payment, justify it. And you know, you can't judge people. You know, everyone's in different situations. You know, it is difficult, and even if it is your passion, you know, it is difficult to justify. You know, essentially, Charlie put it quite a harsh way yesterday. She told me, like, a lot of gym memberships are around £30-40 a month, and you know, like, you'd be paying, you know, would you pay that, or would you pay a gym membership? You know, you know, I feel like the cost of that, but I guess the issue really only affects people who are only paying for just cycling. I mean, that includes myself. Yeah, you could you could join a gym that shows cycling, yeah. Yeah, I think the clouds of fog is new. Never seen it before. The thing is, though, you know, that there's lots of media outlets now. You know, take YouTube, take podcasts. You know, there's loads of people, and there's loads of professional cycling teams that are creating content now for free, technically, you know, on YouTube and elsewhere. So we can still, you know, if anything, the sport is in a better place than it ever has been, you know, with all this content. It's just, we're a long way away from where we were, you know, like 10-15 years ago, where you could watch the whole Tour de France stage on ITV, in the UK anyway, for free. But it is what it is. You know, I don't know. It's a real bizarre one, isn't it? I mean, we can definitely could also be argued that cycling, not just Tour de France, will receive a lot more funding. Yeah, it could be a lot bigger, but that's if the money's going back. You know, I suppose cycling's long been considered a sport that, you know, you can stand on the side of the road and watch it for free. We watched the Cyclocross World Cup for €20. I didn't mind paying that at all. Oh, it's Tommy Simpson's memorial. But yeah, I suppose the argument can be made, as long as we see it going back in. But sadly, in the UK at least, I don't see it going back in. You know, I don't see that happening. Cycling in the UK seems to be going the other way. You know, truth be told, you know, we're live streaming right now, okay? Truth be told, I will probably make more money from this live stream than I would do from racing in the real world in the UK at an elite level, and, you know, finishing in the top 10 or finishing in the top 5, unless things have changed since I was racing and they get paid more. But you know, from a YouTube video that performs well, or a live stream rather, a race, I've earned more than I have done from racing my bike at an elite level in the UK. It's tricky. It's really tricky. I don't know. Can you pay for flow in the UK? I don't know. Oh, sorry, I missed the question up there by Karen. You take part in TT events. Any tips to increase FTP? Well, the long and short of it is every bit of training will improve FTP, really. Sorry, Karen. But you want to target it specifically. You want to probably try and do something like this to begin with. Below FTP, just below it, for long blocks, long duration. So things like, you know, the 2x20, the 3x30, even, with 5 or 10 minutes recovery. And then you want to hit it from the other direction. You want to do some harder intervals, but not for as long, and accumulate maybe 15 to 30 minutes in a session above FTP. And then also you want to practice riding a time trial effort. So if you're doing a 20-minute time trial, you know, a 30-minute, you want to practice pacing and riding, you know, right at that number, right at that limit, and then maybe squeezing something out at the end. But if it's a hilly time trial, practice fluctuating your power, variable power, over and under, to ride harder on the climbs and easier on the flats. But when I say harder and easier, you know, we're talking about, you know, very little changes. It's like if you want to average, say, 100% of FTP, you might want to go between 96, 97%, and maybe 100 and 203%. Don't forget, you'll be spending longer maybe going uphill than you will be going downhill. So you've got to factor that time in as well. You know, yes, the climb might be short, but if it's steep, you might be spending quite a long time on it. So you've got to factor all those things in. Hey, the real wake up. How you doing? How many hours a week do I train? Roundabout. Around about 15. 15 to 20. I would say the biggest week I've done for the last couple of years. Sorry, not the last couple of years. The last couple of weeks has been around 22, 23. But I'd like to do more if and when time allows. But there's always striking the balance between the recovery as well. Generally, more volume is better if you can recover from it. That is a big if. So what a lot of people like to do, including myself, is every so often, if I do have more time, I will do a bit more volume, and generally speaking, a bit more zone 2. When people like to go away with their bike on holiday as well, that's a good time to boost, you know, to add a bit more time, and then you'd factor it in to your normal training schedule. So if you only ride 7 to 10 hours a week, but all of a sudden you're going away for 7 or 10 days, then you might do 3 days of riding, 1 day off, 3 days of riding, 1 day off, and you might, you know, overload. Use that period of time to overload, and that's a very common thing, because it's a natural time to increase your riding time, basically. Hey, no worries, Karen. As you say, Miles, you know, someone who started in July, I'm just riding and doing what I find enjoyable, mostly on Zwift, and finding at a stage I'm making decent progress. You know, there's a lot to be said for, you know, just riding your bike and being consistent, because, you know, for a lot of people, you know, I use Charlie as an example, because Charlie, my fiance, she during the winter, she generally only rides once or twice a week. And usually that once a week is Zwift Racing League. But, you know, you take her as an example, you know, if she doesn't ride much at all, if she's just consistent for that once or twice a week for, you know, 10 weeks through the winter, that's better than not riding at all. Which, you know, for a lot of people that I know, actually, who live local here, who come out in the summer with us on group rides, you know, they tend to not ride much at all in the winter, or they're very, you know, they can't dedicate a consistent, you know, time to riding their bike. And that's because they enjoy doing other things like running and swimming and things like that. But, you know, cycling fitness is very specific, of course. So if you take a big chunk out, it's often, you know, very difficult to come back then in the spring and the summer to, you know, you're always kind of catching up, so to speak. So, you know, with Charlie now, here's a good example. You know, she did the Zwift Racing League once a week. Go on, Bert. And we went out to Calpe recently, of course, and she took her bike, and she did a 5-hour ride with 2,000 meters of climbing. I'm not sure how much distance it was, actually. I think it was about 90 kilometers. And you know, she felt okay. You know, she was getting tired towards the end, but as long as she was fueling, you know, she could get to it. And obviously, as long as you ride within yourself, she's just not used to spending that amount of time on the saddle. But you know what? She rode 2 hours the first day. She did that 5-hour day the second day. Then she had a day off, and then she rode for another 2.5 hours the following day. So, you know, she made quite good use of the 5 days we were there, and she's, you know, not used to, not that she's not used to riding. She's been riding for a long time now, but in terms of consistency, you know, she's only been doing a little bit here and there throughout the winter. So it's yeah, it's sometimes good to make use of that when the time comes. Hey, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Oh, nearly kicked my bike buck over. Oh, it's cold now. Ooh. Oh, nice. You love Morzine. Cold as you plan. Yeah, that's going to be epic, isn't it? Yes, I agree with you, Miles. Yeah, I mean, even myself, you know, I don't ride, you know, as much as I used to on average. You know, when riding my bike was purely the only thing I did, between the ages of like 18 and 23, 24. riding my bike was all I did, and that's when my highest average volume was when I was riding, and even though I've been consistently riding for the last 15 years, when I start to do a lot of volume, it does take a little bit of time to get used to it again. But to say you adapt to it quicker and you can deal with it, yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in that, especially if you've done it, before. But yeah, there's a lot to be said for doing it, because you do, if you don't do it for a while, you do forget it a little bit. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll round off this live stream. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy these 3 miles now. So thanks for tuning in. I might see you on the weekend for another live stream. But if not, enjoy the videos. I just uploaded one. It's about 12 minutes long. And I will see you in the next one. Take care. I'll see you soon.